architecture that stabilizes the temperature of the air beneath it. In doing so, the canopy protects the forest floor and lower layers of vegetation from extreme temperature variations, creating a more stable environment for a wide range of species. This process is not unlike how engineers design heat exchange systems in buildings to regulate internal temperatures by controlling the flow of heat energy between the interior and exterior environments. The forest, through its canopy, creates a self-sustaining climate control system that minimizes energy loss and maximizes the efficiency of heat transfer, principles that are key to both natural and human-made systems. Furthermore, the optics of the canopy are a fascinating area of study in forest physics. The way light filters through the layers of leaves creates a diffused light environment on the forest floor, which is crucial for the survival of understory plants that are adapted to low light conditions. The canopy acts as a filter, scattering and reflecting light in all directions, much like the way engineers design optical systems to diffuse light evenly across surfaces. The physics of light scattering, absorption, and reflection within the canopy can be described using the radiative transfer equation, which models how light interacts with different materials and surfaces. In a forest, this equation helps explain the distribution of light throughout the canopy and the energy balance between the different layers of vegetation. This understanding has important implications for the design of energy-efficient lighting systems, where the goal is to maximize the distribution of light while minimizing energy input. The engineering principles evident in the forest canopy are not limited to energy capture and structural optimization. They also extend to resource management and sustainability. The canopy is responsible for capturing not only light but also nutrients and water from the atmosphere. Trees in the upper canopy often have specialized adaptations, such as waxy coatings on their leaves, to capture moisture from the air, particularly in tropical rainforests where fog interception plays a significant role in the water cycle. This process is an example of natural water harvesting engineering, where the design of leaves and branches maximizes the collection of water droplets from mist and fog, which then trickles down to the roots or lower layers of the ecosystem. This is a highly efficient form of resource management, where the canopy serves as both a solar panel and a water collector, ensuring the survival of the entire forest system. Engineers have drawn inspiration from these natural processes to design fog-catching nets and other water collection systems in arid regions, demonstrating how forests offer valuable lessons in resource efficiency. In summary, the forest canopy is a remarkable fusion of engineering and physics, where natural systems have evolved to optimize energy capture, structural resilience, and resource management. The intricate arrangement of leaves for light capture, the biomechanical design of trunks and branches, the aerodynamic shaping to withstand wind forces, and the thermal regulation of the microclimate all represent sophisticated engineering solutions that can inform human designs. The principles of physics that govern light scattering, fluid dynamics, and thermodynamics are all at play in this natural system, offering a profound example of how ecosystems can serve as models for sustainable engineering. The forest canopy, in its complexity and efficiency, exemplifies the power of natural engineering and the deep connections between biology, physics, and technology. Building upon the principles of physics, we can further explore how the conservation of energy and thermodynamics manifest within forests. When sunlight reaches the forest, it is immediately subjected to the rules of energy transformation, where electromagnetic energy is converted into chemical energy through photosynthesis. This transformation is not merely a simple energy shift, it involves the conversion of light into high-energy electrons that drive a series of chemical reactions within the chloroplasts of plant cells. These reactions are part of an intricate biochemical engine that relies on quantum principles, as photons interact with chlorophyll molecules in a precise manner. The efficiency of this light-to-energy conversion is central to the forest's existence, as it powers the entire trophic structure from the smallest plants to the largest animals. From an engineering standpoint, this process represents a near-perfect energy capture mechanism, one that modern solar technologies aspire to mimic in terms of efficiency and resilience. The solar cells used in photovoltaics, for instance, attempt to replicate the photosynthetic process, but they often fall short in terms of adaptability and efficiency, as they lack the dynamic feedback systems present in biological organisms. In addition to the physics of energy transfer, forests exhibit fascinating examples of thermodynamic equilibrium and entropy. A forest ecosystem constantly exchanges heat with its surroundings, maintaining a delicate balance between the energy input from the sun and the energy dissipated through various processes. Trees, with their large surface areas of leaves, serve as heat exchangers that moderate the temperature of their environment. During the day, trees absorb solar radiation, but they also lose heat through transpiration, where water evaporates from the leaf surface and cools the surrounding air. This cooling process is essential in maintaining the forest's microclimate, reducing localized temperature extremes. The physics behind this heat exchange can be compared to that of heat pumps and cooling systems in engineering, where energy is transferred between a working fluid and the environment to achieve thermal regulation. The forest's ability to self-regulate temperature through transpiration demonstrates a passive thermal management strategy, which engineers often seek to replicate in designing buildings and energy systems that can regulate temperature without consuming additional energy. The flow of water through a forest, governed by fluid dynamics, is another critical aspect of its physical structure. Water, in the form of rainfall, enters the forest ecosystem and is subject to forces such as gravity, capillary action, and the cohesive and adhesive properties of water molecules. These forces enable trees to transport water from the soil up to their highest branches, overcoming the gravitational pull in a process known as transpiration pull. This is not merely a biological phenomenon but a highly efficient hydraulic system that operates based on fundamental principles of fluid mechanics. The xylem tissues within trees can be thought of as a network of microscale tubes, and the process by which water is pulled upward can be explained using Bernoulli's principle, which relates the pressure of a fluid to its velocity and height. The physics of water transport in trees has inspired engineers in fields such as biomimicry, where nature's solutions are studied to solve human engineering problems, such as developing more efficient irrigation systems or creating materials that can transport fluids without the need for mechanical pumps. Forests also illustrate the mechanics of wave propagation, particularly in how they interact with wind. Wind moving through a forest creates complex patterns of movement in tree branches and leaves, a phenomenon described by the principles of wave mechanics and harmonic motion. Each tree behaves like a flexible cantilevered beam, swaying in response to wind forces, but this movement is not random. Trees have evolved to oscillate at specific natural frequencies that minimize the risk of structural failure. This behavior can be compared to the way engineers design bridges and skyscrapers to withstand wind loads by ensuring that their natural frequencies do not resonate with the frequency of wind gusts. The damping properties of trees are essentially their ability to dissipate energy through flexible movement to act as a natural defense mechanism against high winds. The study of such damping properties in forests has even influenced the design of tin mass dampers in large structures, which help buildings remain stable in high winds or during earthquakes by dissipating vibrational energy. Moreover, acoustic physics plays a significant role in the forest environment. The dense structure of a forest acts as a natural sound absorber, where sound waves are scattered and diffused by the irregular shapes of leaves, branches, and trunks. This scattering effect alters the propagation of sound, reducing noise levels and creating a serene environment. The physics of sound absorption in forests can be understood by considering the interaction of sound waves with different surfaces. Forests are composed of porous materials that absorb sound energy and convert it into minute vibrations within plant tissue, effectively dampening noise pollution. From an engineering perspective, this understanding of acoustic damping in forests has inspired the design of noise barriers and absorptive materials used in urban planning to mitigate noise in cities. The forest's ability to naturally manage sound waves speaks to its complex relationship with the physics of energy dissipation, where mechanical energy in the form of sound is absorbed and diffused, contributing to the forest's tranquil atmosphere. Finally, the very structure of trees themselves can be seen as an embodiment of material engineering principles. Wood is a composite material made up of cellulose fibers embedded in a linen matrix, creating a substance that is both lightweight and incredibly strong. This natural composite has a high strength-to-weight ratio, comparable to some of the most advanced materials engineered by humans, such as carbon fiber composites. The microstructure of wood, with its layered arrangement of cellulose fibrils, is optimized for resisting tension and compression forces. When subjected to bending, trees distribute stress along their fibers in a way that prevents fracture, a concept well understood in the field of materials science and used in the design of resilient materials. The physics of stress distribution in trees is a direct result of their anisotropic nature, meaning their material properties vary depending on the direction of the force applied. Engineers often study the anisotropic properties of natural materials like wood to develop stronger, more efficient building materials that can withstand dynamic loads. Thus, the material properties of trees provide a natural blueprint for innovation in engineering, offering insights into creating materials that are both sustainable and structurally sound. In essence, forests are a rich tapestry of engineering and physics, where energy, matter, and forces interact in ways that reveal the underlying laws of the universe. The conservation of energy, fluid dynamics, wave mechanics, thermodynamics, and material science all converge in this ecosystem, creating a complex but harmonious system of life that thrives on the principles of efficiency, adaptability, and resilience. Understanding forests through this lens not only deepens our knowledge of natural systems but also offers profound lessons for human engineering, where we continually strive to replicate the elegance and efficiency found in nature. The physics of fluid dynamics, particularly in the context of tree-water transport, opens up a fascinating study in natural hydraulic systems. The transport of water from the roots to the leaves, across towering heights, is a process governed by the interplay of capillary action, cohesion, adhesion, and the generation of negative pressure through transpiration. Unlike human-engineered hydraulic systems, where mechanical pumps are often employed to move liquids across significant vertical distances, trees utilize a completely passive system driven by the physical properties of water and the geometry of their vascular tissues. The process begins at the microscopic level within the xylem tubes, the conduits responsible for water transport. These tubes are structured in such a way that they enhance capillary action, the ability of liquid to flow in narrow spaces without the assistance of external forces. In trees, the smaller the diameter of the xylem, the more effective this capillary action becomes, and thus, water is able to climb against the force of gravity. Engineers can draw parallels here to the design of microfluidic systems, where fluid is controlled in similarly tiny channels, but trees have perfected this system over evolutionary timescales. The adhesive properties of water molecules, which cause them to cling to the walls of the xylem, combined with their cohesive properties, which cause water molecules to stick to one another, allow for the creation of a continuous column of water stretching from the roots to the leaves. In this sense, the tree's hydraulic system operates like a tensioned cable or chain, where water molecules at the top of the column are pulled upward as those at the bottom are drawn from the soil. This creates what is known as tensile strength in the water column, a remarkable concept in physics that plays a critical role in maintaining the integrity of the system. The negative pressure generated by the process of transpiration at the leaves pulls the water upward, a concept engineers would recognize as similar to how suction operates in a vacuum system. The tree effectively creates a negative pressure gradient by evaporating water through its leaves, and this draws water upward from the roots. The magnitude of this negative pressure can be significant, sometimes reaching -2 megapascals or more, an astounding feat for a system relying solely on passive forces. Another intriguing aspect of tree fluid dynamics is the energy efficiency of this process. In engineered systems, moving water vertically requires input energy, often in the form of electricity to power pumps. Trees, however, accomplish this without an external energy source, relying solely on solar energy indirectly through the evaporative process. This is akin to a perfectly self-sustaining hydraulic system that engineers aspire to create but have yet to match in efficiency. The transpiration process not only moves water but also helps regulate the tree's temperature and maintain the flow of nutrients from the soil, functioning similarly to a complex, multi-stage heat exchanger. This is a phenomenon that can be seen in certain cooling systems where evaporative cooling is used to transfer heat from one environment to another. Trees, in essence, are giant evaporative coolers, managing their internal temperature and moisture balance through this constant flow of water.